Namaste. Today I decide to prepare the face reading of Donald Trump. Yes, in USA elections on the way, and people do not always truthfully access the information situations, not knowing politicians' moves. And what they are trying to show us, it's not always true. Let's analyze the face reading to knowledge of Donald Trump. Yes, before my video, you know some basics part of organs and what this means. Of course, after this video I will do next that you don't know still. But when you will analyze this, you will see how face reading makes it possible to look deeper than the well-known biographical data of a great people, as well as confirm or refute known biographical facts. Let's start. Donald Trump had a white-headed, catches external signals very well, processes them qualitatively, and as a result always turns out to be next to the kitchen where it's warmer. Broad-headed will not walk and make slogans as regular. He quietly stretches his positions. Revolutions only interfere with his comfort, so the round-headed will not go to barricades. He perfectly catches where the wind blows from and always finds itself in the right place and at the right time. And it does as it should. He acts according to the situations in which he is inalienable adventures. In the team, such a person with everyone will find common language. He will not flaunt and he does not need ambitions. He will move slowly and confidently along the career ladder, stretching his positions along the way. Negotiations with him can always be agreed, especially if emphasis is placed on his benefit. White-headed feels and sees from afar. He is friends with common sense, which in his undeniable dignity. But do not think to encourage on his equipment. The rebuff will be taught, he will not give. Yes. Next, Donald Trump has short neck. The short neck is more solid and more resilient and stressful in situations. A man with a short neck knows how to stay in his positions longer. Everything is planned by stage. He will make his clear choice and he will not change his positions aside of stability. Look now for his jaw. The jaw is a shock force and will of a person. It represents what a person can do. Donald Trump has a strong and decisive one. The width of the jaw gives a person a lot of physical strength. Such people do not always make decisions quickly, often make the impressions of dumb stupid, but this is only an visibility. They just need a little more time to think. If we look at the jaw from the side, you can understand how talented a person and can be a barefoot demean one. The forward jaw signals that we have a fighter capable of delivering a preventive strike. More often than not, these behaviors bear fruit and a person receives a priority right to leadership. But becoming the main thing is only part of the task. You need to be able to keep your power. Most likely such a person has self-confidence and lack of fear. The obstacle will not stop him, he will move forward. The shapes of the chin indicate the method of human influence of the world. If the jaw can be considered as an aggregate for catching and holding the victims, then the shape of the chin indicates how the jaw takes up business. Impulsively jumping on the tops or systematically prepares all improvised device. Donald Trump's chins look like scoop. The wider a person's chin, the more system and truthful he approaches business. His offensive is clearly planned and no individual activity is acceptable. Everything is important to him. He will not let anything and flow, of course. During the offensive, he will take into account all the nuance, observe all the instructions. This is a rational person who loves everything in order. You definitely won't miss him. On the other hand, stability, truthness in the approach to affairs. There is another characteristic of the chin. How much a person speaks. In our time, this is not surprising because the success of a person is based on the ability to convince others of his opinion, the ability to convey his thoughts. The talking chin looks like a muscle cusp on the chin, and the strong he is expressed. The more expressed in the person, the ability to speak. If you see some horizontal wrinkle on the chin, you can see on the picture, it reports the individual attitude to lies. This wrinkle is located under the very lip. A person is impatient with any lying, condemns dishonest people. Mouth is one of the most important facial elements. A mouth speaks of a person's appetites, requests, and his ambitions. Trump has a small mouth. He is very electable in communication. This is a government that will first choose the most delicious food and then gracefully capture it. Moreover, the victim will not always know what is the purpose of the small mouth. A man with a small mouth is a capricious. Sometimes it's difficult to understand. In the process of life, the mouth increases, and at some point many have limiters. It's like biological breakers controlling an individual appetite. The extenders look like small muscles indentations from the corners of the mouth or wrinkles. I told you part of mouth. The signification of them is just to increase the invalid activity of the mouth. Extenders reflect how much man has done himself, where he directs his energy. Trump has extenders limiters direct to the jaw. So, in a person's deep in the subconsciousness, the principle is to take everything that lies badly, and if not even bad, but he wants to still take and assign. In the event of resistance, he will regain the right to possess candy. If there is a fight, he will not open his jaw, even if he dies in battle. Start talking about lips. The presence of lips gives a person the opportunity to try what goes into the mouth. The lips react most actively to the surrounding reality and change in accordance with the realities of life. They instantly show change in the emotional state of an individual, which makes it possible to track his true mood. The upper lip is responsibility for basic things, and the lower lip is responsibility for actions according to circumstance. Therefore, the difference in thickness is an indicator of what information is more important for a person. In Donald Trump, his huge age, he had quite puffy sponges that allow him to join feeling. This is a government enjoying life. But by the age of his mouth, his lips began to decrease. He began to be guided by logic, thinking, limit himself. He does not need sentiments and even announce him. The lower lip is thicker than the upper lips. This is sign of eloquence. There's ability to convince a great speaker. He uses his gift of persuasions to achieve his goals. And the nose indicates the mind, wisdom of man and intelligence. A person with such a nose constantly acquires new knowledge, skills. The back of the nose is long. This indicates the ability of a person to stretch hidden informations and testifies to the mind and wisdom of a person. He cannot be deceived. You don't need to hide information from him. He will calculate everything and find. The thick back of the nose is not quite sensational, but in stress it's like a fish in the water. This is an ideal crisis manager. The nose at the end is kind of potatoes, not sharp, speaks of unsupported conversations, maybe even somewhat humoured him. The descent of the tip of the nose speaks of physics, ability or genius. A person is able to go further than others. He does not know how to play according to the others people rule. He created them himself. The wide back of the nose gives a person confidence, like a tank in his positions. He confidently behaves. He is missing straightforward, concrete, but can blend under himself and very stubborn. A wrinkle and folds from the nose in Chinese face reading are called feline lines, but the Chinese consider these signs secret and claim that they appear only in a person who has already embarked on his destiny. In the photo of Donald Trump in his youth, we already see these lines of feline. They go into nasolabial wrinkles coming from the nose to the jaw, indicate how much the person is altruistic and enthusiastic. Altruism in business, as well as going to the jaw to the mouth, indicate a little greed which naturally flows from his common walk. By age, these wrinkles are direct partially to the mouth. Altruism is sidelined, and one time he worked hard, create a name, and then makes money from it. There's a distance between the mouth and the nose called a nasolabial spoon. Trump has an average. He has the qualities of a housekeeper and good situationalist. He has a connection between his mouth and nose. The clearer it is, the more pronounced it is, the more clearly the information is transmitted within the person. It also points to good human reproductions and fertility. And it's not necessarily about children. Creative people can have a huge creative beginnings, art, designer, constructions and everything. Just do some creativity, it will be just bloom. Cheeks talk us about energy received. The more energy received, the more cheeks. Donald Trump has a good potential. Furrows of the forehead of Donald Trump is characterized by thinking, activity and generosity. A clear engine, a person with such an external traits is truthfully interested in something specific. Such a person has a narrow specialization in search, selectivity of explorations. It truthfully interested in something specific. Starting the case, he compiles a plan of actions and follow it rigorously. This is signed even indicate the purpose of the individual. If he is passionate about something specific, he will not waste time on related areas. Eyes. Eyes are responsible for the visual perception of the world. A person with small eyes, as Donald Trump, does not need sentiments. He logically calculates everything for himself, without any emotions, reasonable and frugal. He has a lack of imagination, so he obeys all logic. The rounded line of the lower edge speaks of the openness of man. He is here and now. Perhaps in his young years he was too trusting, light, head-hearted, and often wanted an unclarity. In his young years, he had open eyelids. A person with such censures is prone to an emotional perceptions of their reality. The suspicions of closed eyelids appears a little later. This is a spirit of collectivism. With the distance location of the eyes, a person is able to see the whole pictures of what is happening, calculate far ahead while taking into account of the nuance. Such a person has a good energy supply and wide outlook. Its disadvantages is excessive dreamings and surface. In the photo of yacht under the eyes, we will see that target wrinkle. It says that a person has a virtual goal and he goes to it. It testifies to its rigidity, purposefulness. It cannot be turned out of the way. A purposeful person instills subconsciousness, fear and respect, so I don't want to argue with him at all. But in adulthood, these wrinkles change directions and goes into the wrinkle of compromise. It arises when a purposeful person encounters the realities of life, and this reality makes its adjustment to his goal. If he had gone everywhere before now, he is looking for ways around him. Eyebrows gives out the mentality of a person, his process of thinking, and how much a person is able to influence others. An individual with thick eyebrows does what he wants. He's sexy, jealous, authoritative, and demanding personality. It's able to conduct several projects at once without compromising the quality of the work. My dog's He loves complex multi-stage tasks. Eyebrows are located close to the eyes, low. This speaks of a practical person who knows how to achieve their goals. Such a person can be sociable when he needs it. The owner of low eyebrows is able to spontaneously express his thoughts. He quickly thinks what needs to be said and instantly in express gives out the right phrases. He likes to counter everything. Maybe that's why people not understand him, whereas he properly go and talk straight about something what he's interested in and maybe involved in this topic. Such people are always ready to listen, understand and support. They end down with an artist's gift, subtly feel their experience. They do not like to delve into technical subtitles. They understand everything in simple human language. Through sensations, they have a rather superficial view of thinking. Forehead. This is a zone of consciousness and ideology. Donald Trump's forehead wrinkle. Mental activity and hyper-responsibility. These wrinkles have a vital responsibility. Forehead is medium-pitched, the combination of temperature with reason. Excellent perceptions of information and decision more balanced and thoughtful. From the years, you can determine the ability of a person to hear the longest prospects. People with large ears are excellent analyzing. They have a well-developed intuition. The air is low below the eyebrow speaks of a person who absorbs information for a long time, and they say it slowly but thoroughly. An individual with such ear seeks a wise solution, not a quick one. The Chinese attribute the ear to the elements of water and believe that it can tell about the childhood of a person. I told you in Chinese face reading in my video. And after describing the face of Donald Trump, I just want to summarize. Donald Trump has already earned and lived a life of glamour and fame, and this is the only one president who works without money, salary he doesn't take. Donald Trump feels the need to fight for his beloved country. When there was a time when people could feel proud that they were Americans, but for today days many are embarrassing about their origins. We now live in a society where every blogger or media journalist is looking for the slightest offense to cheat another person, not depends he's simple person of some politician VIP. For me, Donald Trump is a real leader. He controls 20,000 employees in several enterprises, successfully implementing hundreds of initiatives, both domestic and worldwide. He has proved his resourcefulness and is not afraid to take risk and to win the project after the project. He is tireless hard worker. He always at work. Financially, he doesn't need to specially interest money. He doesn't belong to anyone. His real-world achievements and experience can be directly transferred to returning America and other countries to greatness. I wish him all the best for elections, and be careful people choose their future presidents. Thank you for watching me. All the best. Have a nice time.